Here's the kicker, Jason Myers, to get this one started. And off we go from Seattle. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
We're ready. Seattle. 54. Line 54. Let's go, defense. Hey, man up, D. Man up, D. Check 24. Check 24.
The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play. It's 2nd down. Play fake. Bridgewater. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. He's got a man. Complete. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 43 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. On the counter, here's Kamara. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And down to the 16-yard line. Give them 18 there, and the Saints have a first down. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only they're controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the 2nd and the 3rd levels.
And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Ted Ginn there to make the grab. And the Saints take it right down the field and score on the opening drive. Lutz good on the extra point. And it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 26. Wilson. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that, first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
A 2-yard loss brings up 3rd down and 12.
Run left. 56. Here we go, D.
On 3rd down, Wilson steps away. He may try and run for this. And avoids the contact by sliding. Able to pick up a dozen yards, but they needed more. 4th down. Here we go on 4th with Wilson. That's caught by Hollister. And he goes out right around the 39. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on 4th.
1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Hey, D. Got it. 56, the mark. Check 56. 36. Run pass.
Throwing is Wilson. Being chased out left. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Demario Davis coming in for the sack that time. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Charles, already trailing by touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, You just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And this is picked up by the Saints. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
They run on first down, but it only produces a gain of 2. It's second down now. In on the stop, it was the UCF product, Shaquem Griffin. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Bridgewater. It's caught. Smith. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. On 1st and 10, Bridgewater. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. From 13 yards out. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. They've got to be thrilled on the road right now. Touchdown, turnover, touchdown, and quickly trying to make it 14-0.
Yeah, and mentioned it already. On the road, to be able to go into someone else's house and establish a start like that, obviously your confidence rises in a big way, and you're putting some doubt in their minds.
It's a very short kick taken by an up man. And solid field position here to start as they get it out to the 40-yard line.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
Good starting field position here for the Seahawks as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. The drive starts with C.J. Prosise. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. On 2nd down and 4. Wilson is complete to Lockett. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here as they've got it with a 1st and 10. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. Well, we got a second. Let's look ahead to Week 7 and what's on the slate. Things start out Thursday night. Kansas City at Denver, divisional battle.
Suddenly an interesting game. Kansas City having lost their last 2, and Denver now playing defense as we expected. But how about the NFL 100 game of the week? Oakland at Green Bay, a rematch of Super Bowl II.
Also have... Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Touchdown, New Orleans. Ted Ginn. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further.
Well, this is exactly where I expect teams to take a shot. Right after a turnover, you count on the defense being a little bit jumbled coming out on the field, maybe catch them back on their heels, and that's exactly what they did there. They threw it downfield and really created a big play.
Yeah, you said jumbled. They were the definition of jumbled defensively. One play and into the end zone. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This will be taken very short. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Wilson turns and gives to Procise. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. On first down, Wilson eluding the pressure right. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And this is picked up by the Saints. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Bridgewater now after the fumble recovery. Gets this to a standout receiver, Thomas. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Michael Thomas with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Lutz with the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This will be taken short. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35.
At their own 36-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time, first half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
From midfield now, here's Wilson. Flush to his right. Caught, it's Wilson. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A very solid gain of 27. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. To throw is Wilson. He's got the first down inside the 10. And did he get in? No. Down at the 1-yard line. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will be alongside. He'll have highlights and analysis from Orlando of this first half of action. They'll run it. This is Procise. And no signal yet. I don't think he got in. He didn't. They'll mark him at the 1. No gain on the play, and it's going to be 2nd and goal. On 2nd and goal, Wilson feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. On 3rd and goal, Wilson out to his left. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Tyler Lockett there to make the grab as they are now on the board here in the first half. Myers connects on the PAT, and it's now a 28-7 ball game. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And now consider the lead. The question is, how much is good enough? Are you going for more?
It's the NFL. there's never enough, I believe, because they get reeled in.
And he's going to be brought down back at his own 6-yard line. Jadeveon Clowney in there to get him. It's a loss of 5. After the sack on first down, Bridgewater. And a gain of about 4 here moves this from the 6 up to the 10. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Throwing is Bridgewater. He sets to fire deep. And got his man complete. Touchdown, New Orleans. Ted Ginn in the final seconds of the first half. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. And I think it's safe to say we won't call many touchdown passes longer than that this year, partner.
No, I would agree with that totally. And right now, you're looking at an offensive coordinator. Conservative would not go next to his name. Risk taker, definitely, because he valued the opportunity to create a big play against what could have been disaster if they end up getting sacked or fumbling the ball in the shadow of their own goal line.
This will be taken very short. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'm going to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And where have we seen this before from Sean Payton?
That's ambush. We've seen that. What was it, Super Bowl 44?
44.
Right? New Orleans against the Indianapolis Colts. Right after the half, they get it done. I'm so sorry to jump in. I just violated partner and booth etiquette 101.
Right. If you come in with an ambush and you come in strong like that, I feel like it's justified.
My apologies, but...
And now off to the races down the right side. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. C.J. Prosise, 41 yards. And the Seahawks are able to close the gap just a bit. Extra point up and through by Myers. And that'll cut the lead back down to 21. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he will take it back only to about the 13-yard line here.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity. And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Here's Bridgewater. Looking left sideline, incomplete. Traquan Smith, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3.
49. Good trap. 49 the mic, Mark 49. Hey, pick your game up.
From the gun, Bridgewater. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first.
First down, Saints.
49's the mic. Guys, it's game situation. Let's go. 49. Okay. 49. We got it. Hey. 49's the mic. Watch 49. It's our time. It's our time.
Bridgewater now looking to throw on first. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Quentin Jefferson busting through to get him for a loss of 6. Another try after the first down sack. Bridgewater, and this one complete to Smith. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on third down. From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And he can only manage to get this to the 45-yard line. Well short of the first. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on fourth down. On fourth down, they do snap it to Bridgewater. He's got Smith here. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on fourth. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there. This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
Watch the safety creep. Check 50. Check 50.
From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater. Flushed out right. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Bridgewater again has it complete. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 21. A first down throw for Bridgewater. Looking for Thomas. He's got him. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas there to make the grab. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that. Truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. And a nice job there on special teams as he's taken down at the 14-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. C.J. Prosise. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Seahawks are able to cut into that deficit. Myers connects on the PAT, and that'll cut the lead back down to 21. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. That'll be taken in the end zone.
The Saints take over
That's
first
it, baby.
and 10
We're going to work.
at their own 25-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Brings up 2nd and 1.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34.
54, Mike. Check. Watch 54.
Bridgewater. And that one not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this third quarter of play. Back now in Seattle, Washington. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. To throw, Bridgewater. Escaping the pressure right. And Ginn's got it. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Well, they only needed a small gain on third down. They end up getting over 30 yards. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And this is taken in at the 5. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, 35 yards. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Lutz will look to add the extra point. And that'll increase their lead to 28.
Makes the score Saints 41, Seahawks 21. Will Lutz to kick off for New Orleans.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you...
Looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Eli Apple. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
I'm not sure, Brandon, we've seen a sloppier played game this year for a team on offense. Turn it over 4 times and expect to win? No chance whatsoever. And look, I have no idea what the ratio is about turning over 4 times and how that correlates to winning or losing. But I'll guarantee you, it's not very good.
Eluding the pressure right, and that's incomplete. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you...
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara, 35 yards, as his guys continue to pour it on.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right?
No,
I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
Going. She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. On first down, Procise. And he's got room. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. C.J. Procise, 75 yards. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6. Now Myers for the extra point. And that'll cut the lead down to 28. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
At their own 25-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Throwing again on second down. Bridgewater. And down he goes. The pressure getting to Bridgewater. Jarran Reed breaking through to get him to the ground. It's a loss of 7. Third and long now after the sack. And we'll see if Bridgewater has a response.
Mike spot 4, Mike spot 4, Mike spot 4. Exit, exit. 54.
Out of the gun, Bridgewater. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Ezekiel Ansah. He's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks brings up 4th down. And they'll try for it here on 4th. Bridgewater and company stay out there.
Hey, watch that. Check Mike 54.
Now Bridgewater on 4th down. And this is incomplete. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires. And now the football's going to go over, already being placed at the 15-yard line. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big. The extra point now coming from Myers. And that'll cut the lead back now to 21. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's going to get taken down inside the 10 at about the 8-yard line. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. Bridgewater on first down. On the check down, he finds Kamara. And they'll get him down up past the 15, just shy of the 20. 10 yards, good for his Saints first down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Bridgewater drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Throwing here, Bridgewater. Complete. Smith has it. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. To the air again with Bridgewater. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. It's caught. Smith.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Bridgewater again. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. Past the 20. And he is down deep into Seattle territory. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Right there, 54, right there, 54, Mike. Not here.
They'll throw again. Bridgewater. Flush to his right. Got a man open. It's Thomas. It's a touchdown for New Orleans. Michael Thomas there to make the grab. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out. Oh, it's a fake. They'll try and throw for it. And brought in by the tight end Cook. And they're just not going to let up as he is into the end zone here for 2 more. And the Seahawks, looks like they've recovered. They have. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Still got it, 4 down. 56, Mike, 56, right there, 56.
Now Wilson on first down. Rolling to his left. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Eli Apple. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
There he goes left side. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. I tell you, Charles. Oh, and it's a fake. They'll try and throw for it. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. They've got this big lead. They said, forget 1. We want 2. Instead, they got 0.
Unbelievable they didn't even attempt it from the 15-yard line. What are they thinking? I do know this. When you fake one in this situation with that type of a lead, especially from the 15-yard line, oh, boy. I tell you what, meeting them again somewhere down the line, they'll remember this. Yeah, they'll think that they were trying to clown them a little bit.
And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over. And down he goes. The pressure getting to Bridgewater. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win.